Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX and I'm Vaishali Kohli. Now, Prime Minister Narendra Modi sounded the poll bugle in West Bengal's Malda for the upcoming assembly elections, addressing a rally in Malda calling for Asli Poriborton. Prime Minister Modi said that this time it is West Bengal's turn to bring the BJP to power in the assembly polls for good governance. He pitched development, connectivity, and what he called an end to politics of hatred as key planks of the BJP's outreach in West Bengal, asserting at a rally in Malda that the party has freed eastern Indian states from divisive politics and that the people of Bengal were eager for real change. The Prime Minister's remarks come amid heightened political activity in the state, with the BJP positioning itself as an alternative to the ruling Trinamool Congress in the run-up to the assembly elections. He launched a sharp attack on the ruling Trinamool Congress, accusing the state government of being heartless and cruel, alleging that it was looting public money and preventing central welfare assistance from reaching the people of West Bengal. He flagged what he described as infiltration as Bengal's biggest challenge, alleging that the state government had failed to act decisively on the issue. He accused the Trinamool Congress of lacking the will to curb infiltration, saying it would never take steps to address the problem despite its impact on security, demographics and public resources in the state. While calling for change in Bengal, the PM coined slogan for poll-bound state, Paltan Udarkar Chai BJP Sarkar. His visit comes amid heightened political tensions in West Bengal, with sharp exchanges between the BJP and the TMC over the ongoing special intensive revision of electoral rolls and recent Enforcement Directorate's raids on the consultancy firm IPAC. And I now want to welcome all my guests onto the broadcast. I have with me Saeed Asad Abbas, political analyst, Partha Sarthi Guha, TMC supporter, Raj Lakshmi Joshi, political analyst, and Dr. Nikhil Prasoon, he's a BJP spokesperson. I'd like to welcome all my guests and I want to go across to Mr. Abbas first, who's of course a political analyst. Now, Mr. Abbas, the question really that I want to ask you is that, Prime Minister Modi has raised the slogan of Asli Poriborton from Malda. Now, is this a credible pitch for change or just an election narrative in West Bengal?
I've always believed with great power there's great responsibility and equal accountability. I think Asli Poriborton, meaning the right kind of change, can truly come with the people of West Bengal when they choose a party which wants vikas and development in the right sense. The fact of the matter, let us understand this, what happened in Malda, the Vande Bharat Express and so on and so forth. We need to understand that when you do the most common things in life, in the most uncommon way, you command the attention of the world. Ma'am, there's a saying, karni or katni mein bahut fark hai. The fact that the Bharatiya Janata Party, in almost 12 years in power, promised us the sun and the moon. But the real question is, what did they bring through? I honestly believe that there is a lot of politics which is being done here in terms of the SIR in Bengal, the special intensive revision, to all the document chori that is taking place in Bengal. The fact we need to understand power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. The Trinamool Congress government and between the Bharatiya Janata Party, this fight for elections can be seen through. The fact of the matter is, I believe the wisdom of the people of Bengal will decide the same fortunes. The people of Bengal will decide which party is the best for the state. Also, as a matter of fact, we need a government, we need a party which speaks of employment for the youth, which speaks of education, which speaks of health infrastructure, which speaks of better roads, hospitals, schools, and so on and so forth. I believe, be it the TMC or the Bharatiya Janata Party, time to do politics has come to an end. It is time to deliver all the promises that you set. It is time to deliver your best of efficiency. We need to understand that this fight of BJP and TMC should not result into a catastrophe of sorts for the people of Bengal. People are saying this elections is going to be a mother of all battles between the two political parties. But let us understand that who is going to lose at the end of it? Not the respective governments, not the respective political parties, but the people of the state, of the beautiful state of West Bengal. So therefore, I believe that the mind, the intelligence, and the mandate of the land of Sri Rabindranath Tagore, the land of the greatest scientists of India, Nobel laureates of India, and the great visionaries of India begins in the land and the soil of the great state of Bengal. So therefore, the people who come out and vote, who come out and make a difference, should understand that their vote, their mandate will decide the future for the state. And I also believe that the Adanya Mukhyamantri of West Bengal, Shri Mamata Banerjee, has in her blood and in her right mind to do the best for the people of Bengal. There are several leaders of TMC who've done some exemplary work in the state. Not just that, they've raised the voice even in the parliament for their state. So therefore, I believe those who jump ship from one party to the other, like even if you see the likes of the chief of BJP state in Bengal, he jumped ship. He was previously with the TMC. But nevertheless, we do understand that politics is, there are no permanent friends and there are no permanent enemies. But this time, I think it is time to choose a party, to choose an ideology, to choose a belief system which matters to the people of Bengal. And they must come out and vote for the party which will set the future. Many a times we hear that the state of Bengal, what it thinks today, the country follows tomorrow. So therefore, the great minds, the great literates, the great poets of Bengal will be testimony to the fact as to what determines the future. Because I've always believed future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Eleanor Roosevelt very beautifully said the same quote. But I believe it is sacrosanct upon every individual. And Haath Jod ke, on the show today, I'd like to say that petty politics of either of the parties is not going to help. If there is the right intent, or more I'd say the political intent, to make the right do's, to make the right changes, to make Asli Poriborton, the right kind of change for the people of Bengal, this can happen only by education, enlightenment, and of course, the right kind of employment which needs to come through. Because inflation is at its high, employment is at its high. The mere gig workers or the delivery platform workers of any state is not going to help. What will truly help today is the right space and the right employment engagement and its sacrosanct activities, without which for the state of Bengal to thrive is going to be very, very difficult. I believe the true efficiency comes from the people and it's the right governance. Of course, the responsibility lies in the hands of every single voter who comes into play. So therefore, I think like Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, the former prime minister of this beautiful country once said, "Matbhed hona chahiye, manbhed nahi." I believe there could be difference of ideologies, but
right, Mr. Mas, you've made your point, and a very well made point indeed, because party politics doesn't really serve the purpose. What really helps
Absolutely.
is what happens on the ground. I want to go across now
indeed.
to Mr. Partha Sarthi Guha. He's a TMC supporter. Now, Mr. Guha, PM Modi, there are two parts to my question. PM Modi has accused the TMC government of being heartless and cruel and blocking central welfare schemes. And the second part to my question is that the BJP also says that infiltration is Bengal's biggest challenge and claims the TMC lacks the will to do anything about it. I'd like you to address both.
Good evening. Good evening, viewers. Good evening, ma'am. Hello.
Yes, please go on, Mr. Guha.
Yeah, we welcome our Honorable Prime Minister as a political tourist. Before 2021 Assembly election, they have told Mr. Prime Minister, Mr. Home Minister, Mr. Nadda ji and other leaders dreaming about is bar 200 par. What happens, you know? BJP stacked on 77 seats. 2021. 2024 Lok Sabha parliamentary election, Modi ji have told, you remember, that we are expecting the most latest result from West Bengal on behalf of BJP. But previously on 2019, BJP had 18 seats here. BJP have gone down to 12. These are the quantity, these are the political structure I am telling. But what they are dreaming, Modi ji is dreaming, and what he is complaining, first of all, I have to say, Mr. Modi ji, that why you are not giving our money of 100-day job money, the Awas Yojana, after the order of Honorable Court, you are not submitting our own money. Then, in which, why you are asking for Poriborton here? First of all, you change yourself, BJP party, the vindictive BJP party, first of all, you change yourself and hope for Bengal. And another thing I will add, that my previous speaker have told about the glory of Bengal. And BJP people, you know very well, they criticizing Raja Ram Mohan Rai. They are criticizing, they have broken Vidyasagar Murthy before 2021 assembly election. And just before some day on the winter session in parliament, Mr. Modi ji have told that Bonkim Da, how far he can speak Bonkim Da to Sahitya Samrat Bonkim Chandra Chattopadhyay in that manner. Later he asked for apology, that's separate. But this is the culture of Bengal, and we are happy with our Didi. Our Didi is goddess to us. Our Didi, we have full faith on Mamata Bandyopadhyay and the welfare and the development, what is happening, like Kunyasri, like Shastro Sathi, like Lakshmi Bhandar, and this thing, whatever the development we are doing in West Bengal, BJP are copy pasting that in other elections and they are blaming us. That is the tragedy.
All right. I want to go across now to Raj Lakshmi Joshi. She's a political analyst. You know, Raj Lakshmi, the question really is that, you know, I heard PM Modi's speech and I want to ask you after that. Now, is this turning into a Modi versus Mamata battle? Or is this about local governance issues that need more attention? And the second part to my question is that, according to you, who currently has the edge in West Bengal and what could be the real game changer before polling day?
Hello Vaishali, thank you for having me on such an important discussion about West Bengal, because very frankly, it is a border state and there are a lot of issues, and definitely I think that right now there is a lot of like it is definitely a big crisis issue there, because there is this huge issue of infiltration from Bangladesh. So illegal immigrants coming in, and obviously they will eat up a lot of the resources, and the big issue there is that the local state government is not really supporting the central government in ensuring that there is fencing, and also in ensuring that any illegal immigrants are they are identified and they are deported. So that process also, you know, in fact, in everything that the central government wants to implement, anything that is being done all over the country, when it comes to certain states, like for example, whether it may be in West Bengal or in Tamil Nadu, there is a huge confrontation from these chief ministers. So then it becomes extremely difficult for the central government to implement certain schemes and policies, and it becomes a huge administrative issue as well. And even when there are issues of corruption, when like you must have seen, every time there is some kind of an action by the ED or the CBI on any even on an individual, like you have seen in the IPAC case, what happens is the chief minister and the political party, the TMC, they rush in and they use excessive power, and they make sure that these central agencies are not able to function. So it has become definitely a tussle between the central government and the state government. So this, if you look at it, that Mr. PM Modi ji is symbolic of the central government, and Mamata Didi is symbolic of the state government. So obviously there is a tussle between both the agencies. So then that is what it has come down to. Now I don't understand why there has to be a confrontation. Whenever there is a visit of the Prime Minister, there are so many protocols that are broken by the Chief Minister. They don't even bother to follow protocols. When there is a meeting called, emergency meetings called during, whether it may be during floods or for flood relief or even for corona, there are millions of excuses that she keeps making. So she has made it an ego issue. She thinks that she is above the law. She thinks that nothing needs to be followed. Anything that any of the directives of the central government has to be countered by Ms. Mamata Banerjee. And now coming to another issue that was brought up by the spokesperson was, they take great objection to the fact that PM Modi addressed a legendary figure as Bankim Da instead of Bankim Babu. But they have absolutely no problems when a beautiful composition of the same legend was broken, and it was a huge chunk of it was simply discarded to be able to appease a certain section of society. They have absolutely no objections about that. So when Vande Mataram, when only one part of it is kept and the rest of it is simply discarded, then at that time these people don't have a problem. In fact, they should have objected over it all these years. It is sad that a PM Modi has to stand up in Lok Sabha and he has to talk about it. And at that time, he is intimidated for saying Bankim Da instead of Bankim Babu. I mean, that is a kind of a very narrow mindset that this political party has had. And you may remember that they have actually resorted to a whole lot of violence to make sure that the Communist Party, that the CPI and the CPIM, they have been thrown out after 34 years of rule. And now they are resorting to the same kind of violence that the left parties were indulging in before the TMC came into power. And in fact, when PM Modi speaks about the kind of shift, he is speaking about how, the Tata Nano project is a big indicator of how things were and what could have happened in West Bengal. And instead that business was shifted to Gujarat, because PM Modi, who was the chief minister of Gujarat at that time, he was more encouraging of that project. And Ms. Mamata Banerjee herself was blatantly, and she was vociferously against this project. And that could have benefited and brought so much of employment and progress in the state of West Bengal. But this kind of deindustrialization is what PM Modi is talking about. And he has been consistently talking about, he has been inaugurating, he has been announcing new projects, development projects. He's talking about connecting one state with the other. He has been consistently doing that. Irrespective of whether he is called a political tourist or whatever, he has been visiting the states, every state of the country multiple times, and he has been announcing and inaugurating the same projects. So the fact of the matter is that there is a huge surge in the development, in the infrastructure, in healthcare, education, in every sphere, what have you. And in spite of that, there is a whole lot of resistance and confrontation on an everyday basis from certain political parties. And that is why it does look like a personal tussle, because these people have taken it personally and they leave no stone unturned to call political jibes and personal jibes even at the Prime Minister and at his mother as well on many occasions. So that is how things stand today, Vaishali. And I hope that the situation definitely changes for the better for the people of West Bengal, for their betterment.
Now, Dr. Nikhil Prasoon, BJP spokesperson, my question to you is that, the TMC alleges misuse of central agencies to target political opponents. How do you respond to charges of vendetta politics?
Namaskar. First of all, I would like to emphasize here that Honorable Prime Minister visited our state today, and in Malda, and the response that we got that was overwhelming and inimitable. Why it was so? Because the people of Bengal, they are at the crossroads of history. In 2026, we are not going to have simple assembly elections. This is a battle to restore Bengali pride, Bengali ethos, and Bengali culture, which has been trampled upon by the goons of Trinamool in last decade and a half. Now, we are seeing day in and day out that all the tenets of culture, development, and social fabric have been torn apart. Today, Prime Minister came to Malda. He's gifted, us this first sleeper Vande Bharat, and the people of Bengal, they are thankful to him. And in return, they would definitely be, choosing a government of development, dignity, and that of decisive leadership. The main thing is that, as has been mentioned by the earlier erudite speakers, there are 2-3 parts of it. What we have done for Bengal, what the central government has tried to do for Bengal, and what the Bengal government has tried to nullify the contribution of the central government also needs to be talked about. What we have got from this state government, we have got loads of corruption, hordes of caches. Cash was that was found there in the flats of its ministers. 8 to 10 ministers were behind the bars. Some of them are still on bail. And number two, it has been marred by unprecedented kind of a corruption, and there has been corruption galore there in each and every aspect of the governance and each and every department. That every now and then, PDS scam, teachers recruitment scam, municipality recruitment scam, fire services recruitment scam, coal scam, sand scam, cattle smuggling, so many things, and crores of the money that ideally should have been should have gone to the government exchequer, that they are sending it to other places through hawala transactions. And as a result of this, when the central agencies, ED, CBI and other agencies, they try to investigate the matter with due diligence, in the process they are bound to sort of go for these kind of raids as a part and parcel of investigation. But have we come across? They are systematically targeted. What happened in Sandesh Khali, that Shahjahan take place, the ED, CBI, the teams were almost raided by them, they were brutalized by them, and this had remained a trend. The main thing is that we have contributed immensely to the development of West Bengal. We have given AIMS Kalyani, we have given CNCI, there have been very valuable these railway projects, these highway projects from Kolkata till Siliguri, and this golden quadrilateral itself was executed by Honorable Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Mr. Prime Minister Modi loves Bengal so much that the amount of the main thing is that Bengal has been bereaved of the genuine kind of a central help that should have been there, simply because the government is not cooperating with the center, because it's not able to. For example, I'll give you a small example. I'm a neurologist. Ayushman Bharat scheme has not been implemented, and you are saying that Swasthya Sathi scheme is there. No one accepts Swasthya Sathi. The amount that you are purportedly spending for Swasthya Sathi, that should have been channelized to other things. When the central government itself is ready to spend money for that, why are you squandering money just like that? It should have been utilized elsewhere. You started Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi very late, and this kind of and all our policies, all our programs of the central government, the names have been changed and they are being implemented in a cockeyed manner. in a manner in which the money is getting pilfered into the coffers of these TMC goons and those people who are, who had very less to for their subsistence. They had been running here with, in big cars with golden chains and everywhere. So whole society has been, I think the basic tenets of society, the basic Bengali ethos have been put to shreds. And this particular government is in a spree to intimidate the people of Bengal. And that should also be emphasized in the process that we have lost almost 200 precious lives. 200 precious lives, they were all Bengali lives. They were our party workers, ordinary people living in the, in small villages, small huts. They were lynched last time around. And this process is still on. Few of them have never been able to return to their villages. What has been happening under the sun in this country, in West Bengal? And the last few days is emblematic of the fact that the government has lost its senses. The government, the head of the government goes to a place, to a private person's, home, as well as to the office of a private agency, and snatches away the files and other, documents that have been, that otherwise should ideally have been seized by ED to streamline the investigation. This is in a sense, I think, the constitutional breakdown in its virtual sense, in its veritable sense.
All right,
and
Mr.
this
Prasoon,
particular
we're
thing,
short on time, so I'll
appeal
have
to
to
the
interrupt
president.
you, but I want to thank all my guests for joining me